time for candy wrapper composition. So all you need to do is figure out the name of the candy you're going to use and how many syllables that name has and match a rhythm to go with the syllables. So in this case, I have Hershey's. How many syllables is Hershey's? Hershey's. 2, right? So we're going to have you fit this either on 1 beat or 2 beats. So if you did Hershey's and did it like ta, you could do that, right? It'd be Hershey's and take up 2 beats and there would be 1 syllable on each one, right? Okay. Or maybe, let's see, how many syllables is Starburst? That's 2 again, right? Starburst. So maybe you don't want to make it the same as Hershey's. Maybe you want to make it faster like this. Starburst. And then it has a rest after it. Starburst. Okay? You see how I'm trying to put these on 2 beats instead of just 1 beat? Starburst, which we did fit on 1 beat, but we just added a rest, okay? Let's see. How about Smarties? Oh my goodness, that's another 2, right? Same thing. You can make it ta, Smarties, or Smarties, rest. Or rest, Smarties. Could do it that way too. And then we have Jolly Rancher. How many syllables is Jolly Rancher? Jolly Rancher. 4, right? So that one we'd actually have to put over 2 beats. T, right? Jolly Rancher, okay? And then I've got one more example, Swedish Fish. How many syllables is Swedish Fish? 3, right? So we usually say Swedish Fish, which sounds like ta. You could do Swedish Fish, ta, titi, but that might be a little hard to practice because we're not used to saying it that way. But you can decide. If you want to do ta, titi, that is up to you. So that's what you'll have to figure out. So we're going to go over to my computer and I'm going to show you how you can do that on the beats. Now you can use the link and do it all online, or you can just take a piece of paper and a pencil and write in candy names and write the beats underneath it. Or you might actually do it in small groups and your teacher will tell you how to do that. I will see you over at my computer. Here we have the candy wrapper composition. Notice we have red lines and we have black lines. The red lines are for the candy wrappers. So if you're using the digital version, you're going to drag the candy over on top of a red line. Or if you have real wrappers, you're going to tape the candy to this line. Now, underneath the wrappers, you're going to go ahead and write the rhythms. We're going to use quarter notes, eighth notes, quarter rests, and half notes. Okay? So 2 beats per candy name, all right? So these are the candies I've chosen over here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to choose Laffy Taffy. So I'm going to draw it to the red line. Okay, how many syllables is Laffy Taffy? Laffy Taffy, that's 4, right? Okay, so since there are 4 syllables, I pretty much have to put T, 2 sets of eighth notes there. So I'm going to drag a pair of eighth notes here and a pair of eighth notes here. Okay, see that? T. All right, that's pretty much my only option with these set of notes. So then let's go ahead with Twizzlers, okay? So I'm going to drag Twizzlers over here to the next line. And Twizzlers has how many syllables? Twizzlers. So it's 2, right? So I can do 2 different things. I can do 2 quarter notes, Twizzlers, or ta, or I can do Twizzlers, rest, or I could do rest, Twizzlers. I guess I have 3 options, right? So how about, I think I want to do 2 quarter notes, okay? So I'm going to drag a quarter note over here, and then I'm going to drag another quarter note over here. Okay, there we go. So I have Laffy Taffy Twizzlers, or T, ta. Let's see, next I can do, I've got Nerds, Jolly Rancher, Tootsie Roll, Twix, and M&Ms. I love M&Ms. I think I'm going to drag M&Ms over here. Okay, how many syllables is M&Ms? M&Ms, 3, okay? So I think I'm going to do ta. or a pair of eighth notes, and a quarter note. Okay, there we go. That makes sense. M&Ms. I could do ta, titi, but I don't really say M&Ms. Okay, so I would like to save a one-syllable candy for the ending because I like to end with a rest. So I save Twix or Nerds for the end. So let's choose Nerds. I'm going to put Nerds on the last one. So that has one syllable, Nerds. So I'm going to use a quarter note right here. And then I have to fill up both beats. So I'm going to drag this quarter rest and put it there for the second beat. You see that? So we have ta rest or Nerds rest. Okay? So if I were to go ahead and say the candy names with the rhythm I wrote, it would sound like this. Laffy Taffy Twizzlers, M&M's Nerds. Now if I were to say it with the rhythmic nicknames, it would sound like this. Titi titi ta ta, titi ta ta. Okay? So once you've created your candy names in the order that you want, and then you create the rhythms underneath it, then you need to practice saying it. First with the candy names, and then with the rhythmic nicknames. And then maybe you might even have time to add an unpitched instrument to it. Okay? All right, have fun with that.